Okay, here we go. Engage in New York, Module 4, Lesson 12. Problem set plus concept development. So this is going to be hard for me because I'm so used to helping you set things up. But let me walk you through the problem, ask you questions. So as I'm asking you questions or telling you, hey, this would be a really, really good idea right now, you might want to take my advice. Okay, so problem 1. A baseball team played 32 games and lost 8. Katie was the catcher in 5/8 of the winning games and 1/4 of the losing games. So, easy first question. What fraction of the games did the team win? Super easy. That's going to be your easiest problem here. How many games did Katie play catcher? So, hint, hint. Figure out how many games Katie played while they're winning, how many games she played for their losing, and put it together. Now, seriously, there are 4 different ways to solve this problem. So, whatever way suits your brain and makes you go, I got this, I can do this, go for it. But how many games was she the catcher where they won? How many games was she the catcher when they lost? Putting it together, right? All right. I'm going to leave that alone. Next, in Mrs. Elliott's garden, 1/8 of the flowers are red and 1/4 are purple. And 1/5 of the remaining flowers are pink. So, okay. If there are 128 flowers, how many flowers are pink? So, this problem is not, it's, so listen to what I have to say. The complexity of this problem for you increases because you are being asked to find the number of pink flowers in the garden. So the portion of the flowers refers to 1/5 of the remaining flowers, which means 1/5 of those that are not red or purple. So not 1/5 of the total. We're not looking for 1/5 of the total. We're not looking for 1/5 of 128. That is not the problem. The problem is 1/5 of the remaining. So I would start out by drawing a tape diagram just to get wrap my head around what this looks like. Now, 1/8, 1/4, and 1/5, not on the same number line, right? Not on the same, you can't move back and forth across this number line. You're going to have to do something to put these on the same number line, if you will. Okay. Now, so it's 1/5 of the remaining. So you need to take the remaining and pull out a fifth from what's left. So think about it. Draw that out, figure out what's left, and you're trying to find 1/5 of what's left. So you do need to find out how many red flowers. You do need to find out how many are purple flowers before you can even find out how many are pink. Okay? So find out how many are red. Find out how many are purple. Then you need to possibly find a difference. And then, so you draw out a tape diagram, block this out, put in what you know before you can even solve for 1/5 of the remaining. So this doesn't have to be as difficult as you can make it, but it might take a little bit before you can find out this part right here. Okay, I'm going to stop because otherwise it's too hard for me not to start the problem. All right, now Lillian and Darlene plan to get their homework finished within an hour. Darlene completes her math homework in 3/5 of an hour. So 3/5 of an hour is how long? Lillian completes her math homework with 5/6 of an hour remaining. Okay, so this is in an hour. This is with remaining. So this is giving you different parts of the fraction. You might want to draw this out, like show Darlene, show Lillian, and then either work with remainings or work with how fast they completed it within that hour. Who completed their homework faster? And so you have to state either Lillian or Darlene completed their homework faster. So that's part of the answer. And then by how many minutes? Now, a bonus is take those minutes and put it in a fraction of an hour. Okay. So this could work easily with a tape diagram. And you could simply use what you know about multiplying a fraction by a whole number. All right. Problem 4. Create and solve a story problem about a baker and some flour whose solution is given by the expression 1/4 times 3 plus 5. So you could simply, a baker combined 3 cups of sugar with 5 cups of flour in a bowl. What is 1/4? He or she used 1/4 of the mixture to bake such and such. So yes, you also need to evaluate or solve this problem. So create and solve. So you're going to write something out and keep it as simple as possible. You do not need to make this fancy. Remember, you're going to be doing something like this on the test, and you want to make your problem as simple and as straightforward as possible. All right. Problem 5. Create and solve a story problem about a baker and 36 kilograms of an ingredient that is modeled by the following tape diagram. Include at least one fraction in your story. So this is 36 here, divided into 3, right? But they're only using one portion. They're using how much of this one portion? They're using half of a portion, right? So this is going to be a little bit more difficult. A baker poured a bag of 36 grams of flour equally into 3 containers. And then out of the 3 containers, out of one container, uses half to make such and such. All right. So go first. You might want to figure out how much is in each unit before you can take half of that unit, right? So you need to figure out how, if this is all 36 and 36 is divided into 3, then you have to take that third and divide it into half, right? So it's not that difficult when you start thinking of it that way. Problem 6. All right. Of the students in Mrs. Smith's 5th grade class, 1/3 were absent on Monday. Of the students in Mrs. Jacobs' class, 2/5 were absent on Monday. If there were 4 students absent in each class on Monday, how many students are in each class? So 4, what is 4 of the 2/5? What is 4 of the 1/3, right? So draw out a tape diagram and show the 2/5, show the 1/3. Show the 1/3, show the 2/5. And know that 1/3 and that 2/5 represents the same number. So how many are in each unit, right? That's what we're trying to find out. All right. Go back to tape diagrams if that's what you need to do to help you see the problem and know how to solve it, how to go about this. Now, this is designed to take about, going back to problem 1, it might take you about 40 minutes to complete the problem set before you can come back and check your work. Don't do one problem and come back and check. Don't do the second problem, come back and check. It's probably easier if you just stay in the mode and keep going from problem to problem, or try each problem. Don't give up before you come back and check the debrief. Go all the way through, just like you were on a test. Go through and try each problem. Try to make sure you're answering every question before you come back and check your answer, because once you start checking your answer, you're just going to want to look at the rest of the problems. Okay? All right. Come back when you have finished. All right. Hopefully you went through all 6 problems and you're finished all the problems and you're ready to check your work to see how you solved it versus the way I solved it. All right. Yes, that was my dog. Okay. Step 1. A baseball team played 32 games and lost 8. Katie was the catcher of 5/8 of the winning games and 1/4 of the losing games. What fraction of the games did the team win? Well, we know they won 5/8 of 32 games, right? So 32, and we know they lost 8. So 32 minus 8 is 24. They won 24 games. That was pretty easy. But now the next part of the question, what fraction of the games did the team win? So we didn't actually answer the question yet, because we know how many they won, but we don't know the fraction of the games that they won. So 24 over 32 is 3/4. The answer to your problem is the team won 3/4 of the games. Now, next part. In how many games did Katie play catcher? So you need to figure out, she played 5/8 of the games that they won. So 5/8 of 24. And then you need to find out, she played catcher 1/4 of the 8 games that they lost. So 5/8 of 24 is 15 games. 1/4 of 8 are 2 games. So add 15 games and 2 games, you get 17 games. Katie was the catcher for 17 games. Now, this is a problem that at first you might not understand what you're being asked to do. So remember, it's 1/5 of the remaining. So here's the remaining, and it's 1/5 of the remaining are pink. So in Mrs. Elliott's garden, 1/8 of the flowers are red, 1/4 of them are purple, and 1/5 of the remaining flowers are pink. So it's a portion of a portion, right? So red, 1/8 of 128 is 16. So 16 flowers. Purple, 1/4 of 128 are 32 flowers. So I'm going to take 16 plus 32 and get 48 flowers altogether. So 128 flowers altogether, subtract 48 that we know, gives us 80 flowers. So of the remaining 80, 1/5 of 80 is 16. There are 16 pink flowers. So remember, it's only 1/5 of what's left over, and 1/5 of one left over what was left over were 80 flowers. So 1/5 of 80. All right, just take that in. Stop the video if you need to figure out. Maybe you did it with a different method, which is totally fine, and came up with 16. Perfectly perfect. Okay. Then Lillian and Darlene plan to get their homework done, finished within 1 hour. Darlene completes her math homework in 3/5 of an hour. Lillian completes her math homework with 5/6 hour remaining. Who completes her homework faster and by how many minutes? So Darlene, 3/5 of an hour, 3/5 of 60 is 36 minutes. And Lillian, 5/6 of the remaining hour. So 5/6 of the remaining hour. So 1/6 times 60 makes comes to 10 minutes. So remember, who completes her homework faster and by how many minutes? So Lillian completes her homework faster. You have to actually say Lillian completes her homework faster and by how many minutes? 26 minutes. Then there's the bonus question. 26 minutes out of 60 is 13/30ths of an hour faster. All right. Moving on to create your own story problem about a baker and some flour. So a pastry chef, and this could be anything. So I wrote problem one. I was going to do several, but you really and truly, this could be applied to so many different situations. So pastry chef, baker, you could do someone who works and makes special, special pies, or special, you could do special, like even pizzas. So a pastry chef mixes 3 cups of sugar with 5 cups of flour together in a bowl. 3 plus 5. Now, he used 1/4 of the mixture to bake cookies. 1/4 of, how many cups of the mixture did he use? So remember, you're supposed to evaluate really and solve. So 1/4 of this, 1/4 of 8, 2 cups of mixture. So you have to be able to do this and solve. Remember, play around with your own problem and come up with your go-to problem. The problem that you're going to use every time you get this sort of test, a test question. Memorize that. Have your go-to. Create and solve a story problem about a baker and 36 kilograms of an ingredient that is modeled by the following tape diagram. So remember, of that one, so a baker poured a bag of 36 kilograms of flour equally into 3 containers. So it took 36 divided into 3 containers. Then he used half of 1 container of flour to make pretzels. How many kilograms of flour did he use to make pretzels? So going back to what we know, 3 units is equal to 36 kilograms, right? We brought it down, we cross-canceled, brought it down to 1 unit. 1 unit was equal to 12 kilograms. Then we took 1/2 of the 1, so 1/2 of 12 is 6 kilograms. He used, so this is the answer to the problem, not this. This is the answer to the problem. He used 6 kilograms of flour to make pretzels. Problem 6. Of the students in Mr. Smith's 5th grade class, 1/3 were absent on Monday. Of the students in Mrs. Jacobs' class, 2/5 were absent on Monday. If there were 4 students absent in each class on Monday, how many students are in each class? So I use tape diagram to help me see the problem. So Mr. Smith, 1/3 of the students were absent, so 1/3. And we know that 1/3 equals 4, right? If there are 4 students, we know that there were 4 students that were absent in each class. So each class had 4 students absent. So I need to find 1 unit equals 4, right? 1 unit, they said, equal 4. Because I need 1/3. 1/3, 1 unit equals 4. 3 times 4 is 12 students. There are 12 students in Mr. Smith's class. Now, Mrs. Jacobs is 2/5. 2/5 equals 4. So 2 units equal 4. I cross-canceled, brought it down to 1 unit. 1 unit equals 2. And 2 units, 2 would equal 4, right? So now 2 times 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, there are 10 students in Mrs. Jacobs' class. So now it is your job to go to the math homework, to Module 4, Lesson 12, math homework, and complete the problems based on what we just did, because those problems are going to go along with this problem set. In the method that you have to solve. So these methods are going to be methods that you are going to have to use on the test. So the next video lesson that I'm going to do is a mid-module test prep. So I have created a mid-module test prep that I'm going to go through and record and put on. So I would have some paper and ready as soon as you can. Maybe give yourself a little time, go through the homework, give yourself a break, and then come back for the mid-module test prep. All right, good luck. You should do really well.